What would be the one thing that would make you put down the controller and pick up the responsibility?
Running out of money.
Were you in or out of her at the time you were playing the game?
Good God, Bill.
Oh, definitely inside.
You hear what Josh said? He said, why would she marry you if you were addicted? I've been married 48 years. I've thought about leaving. Hell, I thought about driving my Hyundai Tucson off 405 on the way over here. Bill's banging your mom.
But she likes it.
Wait, Dom, what'd you say?
So is everybody else.
Oh, Did you ever think that this is where you'd be?
Welcome to Hardly Legal. It is the show of real people and fake names. And when we started the show, there was one comedian that we had to get who was the real people, fake name superstar, and that is Dr. Phil.
Yeah, good to be here. Hardly Legal, not to be confused with Barely Legal, which is a website Josh has repeatedly asked me for credit card info to access. Great fake laugh by Bill. We'll edit that out. But there's something I love about connecting. Mm-hmm. When I came downstairs here at the world famous Comedy Store, I said, you know, I want to really dive into issues. We've all got issues. I talk about that in my book, but I talk about it on the streets. You know, if I wake up from a wet dream and I forget, you know, what my wife's name is, that's not her problem. You know, that's just telling me that it's probably time to think about a divorce. You know, and
why can't your wife do some improv?
Let me finish my story, Josh. But there is something about finding a purpose to getting up in the morning, and you found yours, and Bill, you know, best of luck. But we're all doing it, and we're all trying, and that's I think what Hardly Legal stands for is you got to try. You fall down, what did Chumbawamba say?
You get back up.
You get back up again.
Never gonna keep me down.
Yeah, well, we don't need to hear the rest of the song. They already it's a song from I think 1998. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Lee, can you look that up?
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford the license, honestly.
No, not to play it, just to get the
lyrics,
the year.
We could do a little.
And while you're at it, look up who's the lead singer of the Baha Men. No rush on either one of these. Go ahead, Josh.
Hell yeah! So I know that you like to do themes. We have a theme today, which is addiction.
Big theme guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Had a themed bar mitzvah at Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh wow!
It was Nazi mice.
Nazi mouse.
Mice.
Nazi
so Chuck
mice.
E. Cheese, there, you know, it's a mouse is the logo. Kind of how Buc-ee's has the gopher.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, the story will get better. A friend of mine had a breast circumcision. They cut the tip of his baby's cock off, and so we all went out for pizza. And one of the guys, he was a +1. It's always a +1 that makes things awkward.
Yeah.
And he decided to, bring some. We thought they were dunce caps, but they were actually. KKK attire. Anyway, what's your first? Wow. You go ahead. Sorry,
I got the deposit back at that.
We did. Yeah.
Okay.
And the cheese deposit is not that big. It was about $80 to hold the entire venue.
But what year was this?
A couple weeks ago.
Oh, you had a bar mitzvah.
We'll be right back. We'll keep it right here.
All right, hell yeah. Anything could happen on the show. We are going to be talking about video games, people that love to play them, people that would love to quit. And so with that being said, we're going to talk to our first caller and bring them up. And this is a person who has been struggling with addiction related to video games. We'll talk a little bit on the back end about that.
We have to.
We have to. It's contractually obligated.
Well, you got to talk about it, too. You can't just absorb a problem and swallow it. That's how serial killers are born, right?
Oh, my God.
You ever play a duck hunt?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Duck Cunt, which is a band in the Midwest that plays only Tracy Chapman covers.
Duck Hunt is actually one of our sponsors for this podcast.
Well, let's pull up a clip.
We'll be right back. Okay,
we'll keep it right here.
Do we have the first caller? Caller, can you hear me?
They might be in space with Katy Perry.
He might be playing video games. Okay, he's probably playing Grand Theft Auto or something right now. There's an interesting discussion. So video game addiction is a very new thing.
Okay.
People were not talking about it 30, 40 years ago because, frankly, video games weren't that good.
Right.
But now, scientists, big corporations, they put a lot of effort into making people play longer and longer and spending more and more money. And we're starting to look at it and go, hey, you know, I mean, what are your thoughts on it, Bill?
I think it's no different than 30 years ago. If you're trying to look at some titties at late at night and you're midnight, you got the little fuzzy screen, you're trying to see what you can see, right? It's hard to get too addicted to that. But now there's science around how you can get people to be connected to these things, and your life revolved around it. And we're seeing people whose entire lives are turned upside down because of these video games.
Well, yeah, you get lost in the visual, right? Yeah. Grand Theft Auto, everyone's dreamt about killing a whore. right? So
Twice a week.
that game comes along and gives everyone the opportunity to live it out. You just hope they don't take that passion into the real world. So, but you know, again, I struggle with finding time to even make time for my downtime. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So video games, you know, are up here for me. You know, sex is you know here. Good food is right here.
Yeah.
You know, it goes sex, meatballs, you know, Mario Kart. You know.
Oh wow.
But I think that you need an escape. It's just how far down the rabbit hole you willing to go.
Yeah.
Even when Luigi jumped into the warp zone, you know, I don't think he knew where he was going. He didn't have a game plan. He jumped in the warp zone being like, let me go see if the princess is, you know, putting a tampon in or something,
Yeah,
you know?
just a spirit of adventure.
Exactly. But again, it's how far does the adventure go, you know? And, you know, you look at the movie Hook, right?
Okay.
Robin Williams wanted to save his kid, you know, but that movie, there could have been an alternate ending. He could have gotten to the pirate ship and seen Captain Hook and Shmee, and is it Shmee or Smee?
I don't know.
I think it's me.
Okay, we'll edit that out. But I think there is something about knowing your limits, not overstaying your welcome.
Okay, I think we have the caller ready to come back on.
How about that? Thanks for fucking joining us.
Caller, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear.
Awesome. So you are a real person. We've given you a fake name. That is Dominic Toretto from the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Sounds like a real guy. Sounds like he's from
Yeah,
Murrieta, California. Huh?
Yeah, I am a guy, but yes.
Okay.
Dominic, where are you coming from?
Central Ohio, Columbus, Ohio.
Shout out. Love Columbus. They've got a Panera there that I frequent when I'm in the area.
Best hard lemonade in the country.
What's your go-to Panera order, Dominic?
Oh well, it used to be the margarita pizza, but
But you quit drinking?
They discontinued those. Well,
Thanks,
it's not.
Bill.
No, it's not. It's not the margarita, but that's just what they're
No, I
called.
was making a fucking joke, you goddamn buzzkill. All right. For me, it's the broccoli.
I am a bus.
Yeah. It's okay. We're all struggling to be outdoors, Dominic, and you are case in point. But well, don't laugh like that again. But broccoli cheddar soup might be the best thing that I've ever had at a Panera or at a restaurant. To be quite honest with you,
Yeah, but Panera doesn't sponsor this.
Dominic,
podcast.
what video game are you playing?
Need for Speed No Limits.
And what
On
system is
mobile
that?
app.
Is that NES or
that's-
Sega
that's-
Saturn? What is it?
No, that's a mobile app.
Okay, so it's not from one of the top gaming facilities.
No, it's EA.
Okay.
Is it in the game?
Yes.
Okay. So how long ago did you start playing this game?
In 2007, 8 years ago.
Oh,
Or 2017, 8 years ago.
Okay. Hey, COVID messed
17,
up all
sorry.
of our brains. I think we all lost a couple decades to COVID.
Hmm.
So you download the app and you go, oh, this is fun. Now, I've never played it. Are there buttons? Or are you just kind of like going, meh, and then moving the phone around? Like, is it motion? How does it work?
No, it's a slide activated, so there's not buttons. You just kind of tap the side of the screen
Okay.
to steer. There's no actual acceleration. You can brake, but only in certain types of races. So
Now-
it's very simple controls.
Do you have road rage when you're out on the freeway in Columbus, Ohio? What got you so fired up, Dom, to that you were like, well, I do love speed, but I need it more than what I'm currently getting. You strike me as the guy that saw the movie Speed and said, is there a sequel before the first one was even over?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought all the guys were like that.
Right.
Now, I would say if you're addicted to something in Ohio, this is probably the least dangerous speed that you could be addicted to.
1,000%. There, Ohio, statistically, historically, and sexually, Dom, have created addictions that I think most of the country is just becoming privy to. What would be the biggest thing that you're addicted to aside from gaming, Dom?
I'm not. I don't think I'm addicted to anything except for the gaming.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe delays in responses.
That could be the.
Yeah, delays and responses. Yeah.
Well, Dom, one more follow up, Josh. The game itself. Do you remember? Take me down the first time you played it and what you were thinking and feeling.
Oh, just the realistic graphics were very good for a mobile game, and it just was easy to play, and you could just go in there for hour, 2 hours at a time, and just zone out.
So
And
how
you didn't have
how
to-
long are you playing it?
At my height, I would be playing it for about 3 to 4 hours a day.
Wow.
And are you spending any money on this game? I mean, is this
Oh, yeah,
a purchase up front, microtransactions along the way?
Good question, Bill.
It is microtransactions, $3 to $10 at a time, and over $5,000 over the course of the that's just estimated because they don't keep track of it. It's on several different cards, so it would be really hard for me to accumulate the actual value.
So you've gone from like you're driving a Kia Soul and they're like, hey, pay $10 and you can get to a Honda Civic, and then pay another $10 and you can be in an F-150, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I spent $5,000 to get a Honda Accord.
Yeah, pretty much. But we're talking about Bugattis and.
Oh, can't say that anymore. Easy there, Dom.
You can't say.
Now, Dom, go ahead, Josh.
No, you got it.
Nope.
Okay.
Fuck
Thank
off.
you.
Fuck
Age
off. It's your
before
show.
beauty.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Let me jump in. What other problem besides? Okay, you've got the money,
Real
you've got the
diversity hire
time.
over here.
What's the other problems that you're facing, if any, dealing with playing these video games 3 or 4 hours a day at the height?
Great
Yeah.
question, Bill.
I don't know if there's any problems. It's just that I started playing these games just so I didn't have to spend money on a real car. And
Right.
they just got me that car fixed. But there's and you just felt like you're racing, and it's cheaper than paying the tickets for street racing.
what do you think the longest you've gone without playing this game is since you started all the way back in 2017?
And can I smell your fingers?
Can you smell my fingers?
Just want to know if they're covered in Cheetos or
No,
strip of
definitely
glitter.
not Cheetos.
Taki.
That gets on the screen. You don't want Cheetos on the screen.
That's true. This
Good
guy's
call.
a real
All right,
gamer.
he's a real gamer.
Yeah.
That was a test.
Dom, did you ever think that this is where you'd be? When you were young, Dom, growing up in Columbus, did you ever think you'd go,
Yeah, I don't want to get a car. I'm just going to play one.
you know what I'm saying? Did you ever think
no,
that this
definitely not.
Now, have you're in a relationship, right?
Yeah,
How long have you been in it? Are you married?
2 years. No, dating.
Yeah. I mean, why would you marry if you're addicted to this game?
Yeah.
Well, no.
I-
Well, hold on. Hey, hold on. Dom, now, you hear what Josh said? He said, why would she marry you if you were addicted? Well, I think if someone gets to know you, they're going to need to know everything about you, right? What's under your bed, what's in your blood. You strike me as someone that's got a couple STD creams lying around the fridge, okay, in a Ziploc.
Yeah, at least 4 or 5.
That's what I'm talking about.
Spotted
Yeah.
it.
But I'm not saying that that's bad or good. But whoever comes into your space needs to understand that this is who you are.
Yeah.
And hopefully she's also got a car, do you know what I'm saying, to get you from point A to point B. Because I don't think anyone's going to fuck you if they see you riding a bird scooter to Ralph's.
Does she know?
No, they would
Does she
not.
understand what this game meant to you at the time that you all started dating, or was this something you were hiding? Something kind of only doing in the bathroom, only doing in your car before you came home from work.
You'd have to
kind of
lie
thing.
to her, tell her it was
No,
porn.
she knew how long I played. I played it right beside her when laying in bed at night, because that's usually where I got most of my gaming, is when we're just laying there watching TV.
Were you in or out of her at the time you were playing the game?
Good God, Bill.
Oh, they definitely inside.
These are the real questions, Doc.
I
real
guess.
questions.
Yeah.
I guess. It's your show.
Yeah, this is how you do an interview, right?
Dom, we appreciate you taking time, but I do have to ask, what would be the one thing that would make you put down the controller and pick up the responsibility?
Ooh.
Running out of money.
So if you ran out of sweet, cold hard cash, and you had to call up your girl and say,
I'm running low on Tic Tacs. Can you Venmo me $40?
what would she say to that? Would she say, it's about time, I was looking forward to you running out of cash, so now that you can hang out with me? Or would she say, like when you go to the strip club and the dances get shorter and shorter?
I do not think this caller's going to the strip
Let
club.
me finish, Josh.
I don't think he
You're at the
understands
strip
that
club,
reference.
Rick's or Deja Vu or Magic Mike's or the Magic Castle on an off night, and
Yeah,
you go
Magic
in there.
Mike, that's more my speed.
Say it again.
Magic Mike's more my speed than your standard peep show strip club.
Great. Even though you got a voice of a security guard at a glory hole. And a laughing one too. But Dom, I like your mojo. I like your style. But I do have to say, if push came to shove and shove came to push, what would you say to your girl if she said, "It's me or the game"?
Good question.
Oh, then I'd start hiding the game. That's what guys do.
We'll be right
They hide
back.
stuff.
That's a great fucking answer.
I do
Yeah.
want to give you a little. We joked around a lot, and I appreciate you being such a playful person, Dom. Like you really have a good sense of humor. Bill, the microtransactions have literally been a thing that's come up in these lawsuits, right? Like that's been something that people have put extra emphasis on.
Correct. So the big problem is that before you would just go buy the game and that was it. And then what we've actually found is that some of these game companies are actually hiring neuroscientists and behavioral analysts to be able to tweak the game to make it more addicting. The sounds, the controls, kind of letting you know like, hey, you can buy this skin, you can buy this pack, you can buy this loot. And it sounds like, Dom, you're talking a little bit about these kinds of main things. Like the game has become something that has gotten to you deep in your brain, much like, some of these other addictive types of situations we've seen in the legal world before. Do you feel like there was beyond just kind of zoning out while you play the game, when you're away from the game, what do you think about the game? What makes you what's the urge to go back to it?
Good question, Bill.
Oh yeah, the urge to go back to because you chasing those leaderboards. The leaderboards that are filled with bots, they're not real people. I don't have any actual proof on that, but the evidence stands for that they're not real people because there's no way a real person can get those kind of numbers that they are getting. Because after playing for 8 years, I'm like 6,000 in the world, and I should be up in the top 100 for how much money I have.
Well, Dom, I used to think little people weren't real people until one of them keyed my car. So tomato, tomato, Ray Romano. But I think that if you find yourself in a position like you are now where you're questioning what's around you, that might be a time to step back and hand the keys off to somebody else. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Have you sought any treatment for this or kind of looked up any resources to figure out how to kind of control those urges, how to be able to set down, I know you don't have Dorito fingers because you're playing on a mobile app, but just to cut the cord a little bit?
I've tried like a few different times going off social media because Discord, they talk about the game. So you get me on that. So I just get off social media apps. And that's the only way I've been able to just stop doing it and actually work on real cars and spend real money on real car parts.
Have you ever had a bout of rage while you're playing Need for Speed to where you go, well, this isn't who I am. I actually have more road rage in the game or outside than I do here.
Yeah, I have. When you get beat by somebody you know is cheating, and because they're cheating just like there are on PC games or Xbox games.
I think that you might be onto something because this is a game from 2017 that is not the most popular game. And there have been stories. I saw one where there was an old game where there was only one guy that kept buying all this stuff. And so they kept, he was a rich guy, and they just kept adding, the devs literally were just building the game for one guy who was like the last one playing it. And they just kept putting new things for him to buy in the game. And he spent like $400,000. So it does, mean, it does happen where in these older games, especially, someone's like, oh, how do we put a fake leaderboard up? Because we got Dom here and he's got the need, baby. We've got him hooked.
Yeah. Well, and they just have one guy there. They're doing the updates. They update this game every 3 weeks, and they're actually putting things in the updates. I mean, there's new content and everything. So, it's not the most popular game, but it is still an EA game. So they've got a somewhat decent following, at least coming from the Discord. Those are, I believe, real people, but they can pick those too now. So,
Dom,
what we want to do, Dom, is we're going to send you some resources. One is going to be things for you to look at, some kind of factual scenarios that are related to these lawsuits. Now, they're pretty new, and they kind of cover a bunch of different. You've got Blizzard, you've got EA, you've got Epic, you've got all kinds of different games from Roblox to Fortnite to whatnot that have all these microtransactions and have people who are addicted. We're going to send you some resources to look at, along with some referrals to attorneys who have been specifically dealing with this. And that's the big thing. There's a lot of folks who are advertising about it, but there are only a few firms that actually have experience with it. We're going to get you some of those opportunities to talk to some folks and really understand, does your case rise to the level? Does it not? What are some of those factors? But most importantly, some resources to help kind of break the grip that EA has on your life, on your fingers.
Yeah, and I'm going to send you some other resources, some DVDs, Big Black Titties 4, Suck My Clit 9.
Yeah, I already have that one.
Yeah, I know you do, but I want to send you a cleaner version that hasn't been all stickified.
He has the laser disc. You got to send him the updated.
I got you the update. But I think that it's important as you go through. Addictions are just habits that don't have an endpoint. Okay, so if you sit down and you make a pros and cons list, Dominic, and maybe even ask your significant other or your biological mother. Which one would they pick? Would they pick the game or you?
Yeah.
Flip the script. You know what I'm saying?
Or they'd probably lie to me too. Men are throwing a little lie.
I don't think that's what this is about, though.
Yeah, no, I
Dom,
think you're taking us down a different rabbit hole.
I do want to give you good news and bad news. Okay, so I'll give you the bad news first because that's how I'd like to be told. I don't want to sit there in suspense and wait for the bad
Bill's
news.
banging your mom.
But she likes it.
It's actually way worse and less adorable.
Wait,
than
Dom,
that.
what'd you say?
So is everybody else.
Oh, shit. We'll keep her right here. Now,
We found the source of the problem here.
yeah, I think your
We
mom's
know what you're trying to escape from.
promiscuity is the real addiction that needs to be investigated.
Okay, but Dom, I do want to tell you,
Right.
you're not going to get rich off this. You're not like
Oh
when
yeah,
people.
no, I'm not expecting. I just want them to stop
That's
doing
the
it.
bad
I-
news. The bad
I
news
want them
is
to take-
the bad news is you're not going to be able to buy a new real life Honda Accord with the settlement money from this. But I do have good news. Okay. The good news is that I am really appreciative and we are really appreciative that you called in because it's hard for people to have a conversation before it gets really bad. Like in situations like this, it's like, oh, I still have my job. I'm not going to get help.
Right.
Oh, I still have my car. I'm not going to get help. And then some people, and this is kind of your good news, Dom, the reason why you're not going to get rich off this is because the bleeding isn't that bad. Some people, it's really bad. It's fatal. There have been stories about people failing out of medical school. There have been stories about people getting divorced. One of the other people that signed up to call, their wife left them because they couldn't stop playing the game.
Neglecting
So-
family, neglecting their
right.
life, neglecting their health. And it's good. The fact that you don't have a great set of damages is because you
Yes.
have not yet been damaged yet, but you got to take the train off the tracks.
And not only that, but you get to be helpful to all the people that are listening to this that are going, oh, wait, maybe I should readdress this before it gets worse. So, Dom, I want to appreciate, I thank you for calling in. We appreciate it a lot. And thank you for being on Hard Legal. Do you feel like you were heard today?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We'll follow up with
Yeah,
you. Thank you for calling.
Really, we believe you. Did you hear that short answer? He's like, yeah, fucking, I don't even know what just happened. You got broken down, but you also got picked up, Dom. So figure out who you are and celebrate it. But don't negate it, and that's a tough word for me to say around my black friends. But I do think that that as you climb that ladder, just realize one step at a time. And if you miss a step and fall down on the ground, what does Chumbawamba say?
Get back up again.
Shut the fuck up, Josh. Go ahead, Dom.
Get back up again.
There it is. Thank you. We'll keep that in. Thanks for calling, Josh.
Thank you. Thank you, Dom.
Stop, drop, and roll.
All right.
All right.
Thoughts on the first call?
Doc, what you think?
Loved him. Thought he was a great guy. Definitely not a threat to society. Picking up on my sarcasm.
Have you seen any serious addiction things or any funny addiction things in the course of all your
Well, all
years of
addictions
being
are
a therapist?
funny. I mean, I once had on season 2 of our show, we had a hermaphrodite that was addicted to Mountain Dew Code Red.
Okay.
Well, it's understandable. It's delicious.
It's also filled with that red dye that makes your cum taste like cornbread.
Now, I'm not a doctor. Were they hermaphrodite before or after the code red?
Well, a magician never reveals his secrets, but I don't know.
That's a fair
But I try to act as everything's at face value.
Yeah.
A friend of mine went on a date. Actually, it was his Uber driver, and she drove him home. They, got to know each other. He asked her out. She came over that night. She goes, "Hey, I got something I should tell you." And this is after they ate dinner. She says, "I'm a hermaphrodite." He goes, "Oh?" Like Tim the Two-Man Taylor. And he goes, "Well, that's something you should probably bring up at dinner."
Yeah.
We're an hour and a half past, your hermaphrodite announcement
Yeah.
window.
Yeah.
One thing leads to another. She says, "I just thought you have the face of a guy that I thought would be into this." He goes, "I don't know if that's a compliment or not."
Doesn't sound like it.
She's on her way out. He says, "Well, hold on. Can I see it?" Because she's got both. You know what a hermaphrodite is, Bill.
Do.
So she pulls down the trowel, shows them both, and
It's a power move.
I forget the end of the story, but my point is, everything's got a way to look at it with a funny set of goggles. I used to be addicted to those animal attack videos.
Okay.
But then I had to, I got a little too funny because every time went to the zoo, I was hoping I'd see a baby get clawed up by a hippo. But now I'm addicted to those kids that are colorblind that get to see color for the first time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's adorable.
Ooh.
The grandpa's
great.
like,
Those are amazing.
Hey, Gabe, you won't shut the fuck about what purple is.
Yeah,
Why don't you put these bad boys on?
I love that. So
Dude, the
much.
kids who get the ear implants and they hear for the first time. I mean, those are the same types
Those
of
aren't
things.
real. That's a scam. Those aren't
What?
real. Yeah.
No way.
No, they can already hear.
Every
Go back
time?
and watch
What?
them. When they hand them, they're like, all right, Eli, put this in your left ear. And he's like, I mean,
Why,
how the
why you gotta
fuck
break
did he
my
hear
heart?
that?
Why you gotta break my heart right
Well,
now?
I'll give you another thing. Tom Cruise, full-blown alien.
It's not even controversial at this point.
Yeah, because he's science.
Not even about the Scientology. Not even about that. That's a cover-up.
Okay. So
Scientology that's not even a real place. That's a Quiznos.
well, they're actually.
I used to work at Quiznos, and I will tell you there was some weird shit in the back that I may or may not have been involved in.
Dear Diary. Quiznos was like the underground sex dungeon of sandwich shops.
Yeah, that's actually correct.
Yeah, I talk about that in my book.
They had the weirdest mascot ever.
Who's the Quiznos
I
mascot?
was like, "We're Quiznos subs." Like they intentionally
We'll edit
went
that
weird.
out. What the fuck?
yeah,
that
we'll
seemed
put
like
it
an
up.
Asian guy. What was
Yeah,
he
it was
doing right
weird.
there?
Yeah,
Are you
I thought that was
offended?
my uncle.
Really
Yeah.
weird.
No, I felt an eerie sense of familiarity.
It was surreal.
It's like the bad guy in Turtles 3. You ever seen Ninja Turtles 3 where they go to Japan?
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Well, that's not why I was asking, but I wanted to know if you've seen it.
I have.
Have you seen all the Shanghai night movies? Like all the Kung Fu stuff?
No, but I've watched all the Rush Hour 17 times.
My man.
Thank you.
I knew we'd get along. Go ahead, Josh.
All right, we're with Dr. Phil and Bobby Lee probably. So we're gonna play a little game. This is called Lawyer or Therapist. So
Okay.
we have a real therapist here and we have a real lawyer here. So I'm gonna give you guys a line, and then you guys are gonna tell me if you think this would be for a lawyer or a therapist.
Great.
Okay. All right.
Ready.
Someone says, "I'm thinking about divorce."
Therapist.
And what are we supposed to do again?
Just do you feel like they need to talk to a therapist or a lawyer when you hear this line? Someone says, "I'm thinking about divorce." Should I go to a therapist first or a lawyer first?
What'd you say, Bill?
Therapist.
I think lawyer. I think just if you said it, you meant it. Go down to the courthouse,
No going back.
sign some paperwork.
Yeah.
Peer mediation or, strength in communication
Okay.
is a gateway to anal. And I'm not talking about sweet, I just met you anal. I'm talking about turn the lights back on. How do you have my stepdad's PIN number?
Where's the mop?
Where's the mop? But
Okay.
no, I think if you said it, words speak louder than action sometimes.
Okay.
And I know that the script is usually flipped on that, but I think that you go down, you put your money where your mouth is.
Okay. Well, this is going to be hard because I thought we would ramp up. So you went lawyer immediately. So it's going to make these next few difficult. But
That's
the next,
fine. Nothing fun is easy.
This is true.
Who said that?
Confucius.
Me
No,
hosting this
Dom.
show.
Our last caller said that.
Yeah,
as he was
swipe-
crossing the
he was
finish line
swiping
on
it through.
fucking.
In the first one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this next one was my wife wants a divorce. Do you
Okay.
call a therapist or a lawyer if your wife says she wants a divorce?
Hitman.
Great. Yeah. See, that's not on the Scantron, but I think that's the option. I don't know if murder's the first option, but it's definitely 7 or 8.
What happened to conviction? What happened to sticking with your beliefs? So
Well, if the wife wants it, chances are the guy's not going to do better.
That's true. That's
know,
false. Yeah.
Most guys that get married and leave don't do better. They just think they can.
Yeah.
I've been married 48 years. I've thought about leaving. Hell, I thought about driving my fucking Hyundai Tucson off the fucking 405 on the way over here. But I think that, you take a minute, you take a deep breath, and you think about the good stuff. It outweighs the bad stuff. But divorce is one of those things you can come back from. 62% of fat kids are from divorced parents.
Is that by body mass or by how many kids?
I don't follow.
I'm also not a math Asian, and I
high.
don't know what you're saying.
I don't know. They were higher volume.
Oh,
Okay.
no, I think that, I think kids eat their feelings, right?
Yeah.
Cocoa Puffs, Chewy bars, they thrive on parents not figuring it out.
Okay. I
You
love
know.
these answers.
Because the more sugary the snack, it's probably in a household where, dad's doing some suspicious behavior,
Yeah.
right? And mom's like, well, where were you last night? It's like, none of your goddamn business.
Yeah.
Kids in the bathroom fucking deep throating a bag of Planters peanuts.
Playing Need for Speed.
Yeah. All right. I like that segment. As a doctor, Dr. Phil.
Sure.
As a lawyer, I have to work with, and Bill has to work with some weird people. I'm working with one right now, actually. and I suspect they might be schizophrenic. So I wanted your professional opinion on this. So sometimes it's a man, but they dress as a woman. What would you do if you were working with someone and they just suddenly showed up dressed up like a woman?
Well, if it was it Halloween?
No, just a random day. Wanted to go by a different name, just no warning.
What day of the week?
I think it was a Monday.
My first day doing the Dr. Phil live show, we thought about bringing somebody on that went through a similar experience.
Okay.
There's a bunch of cross-dressers, whether they've transitioned fully or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a friend from high school who has recently gone from Sam to Samantha.
Okay.
Took the estrogen, got boobies,
Yeah.
but didn't have enough to complete the ensemble.
Okay.
So still rocking a
Drinking the code red.
still rocking a penis.
Yeah.
So got both.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's hermaphrodite as much as just a party favor.
Yeah.
So my point is, I think that what was the question?
So
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
this person has a bunch of different personalities. Like
I
sometimes,
don't think it fucking matters. I think do what you want if it's not hurting anybody.
Okay.
And it makes you happy. Do whatever the fuck you want.
How can I?
Is this
be
the only thing though? Is this
Well,
is
no,
this
they
like
did,
the
they
only?
did more than that. They also one time they dressed up as an older person, and then another time they dressed up as a former president,
Okay.
and then sometimes they even pretend to be a doctor. And I'm just starting to get concerned about it.
Well, I think that. Look, I think life gets tricky.
Yeah.
I think whatever business you're in, there's no rule book, right?
Yeah.
Some people come out to Hollywood and they go, I'm going to be a famous actor. I'm going to be discovered like Ashton Kutcher at a Starbucks, be put in a Calvin Klein ad, and then fuck Demi Moore in front of Bruce Willis.
Oh wow.
I thought you were going to say P Diddy, but continue.
Well, Diddy is one of those characters that, look, did he do it? You know, yeah. Did he? Am I bummed I didn't get the invite to the parties? Double yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you get that link that somebody sends you, like gorilla shoots load on handicapped kid's wheelchair at the zoo.
Yeah.
You double click on it.
Yeah.
You want to know?
You want the invite even to turn it down, right? It's nice to have been invited.
It's nice to know that people were thinking about you.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going around dressing up as different characters, that lets me know that you know, either there was an actor strike.
Yeah.
Or you got bored and said, well, let's fucking mix it up. It's either this or kill myself.
Okay. I'm gonna tell them that. I appreciate it very
For
much.
sure,
Thank you
yeah.
for that. Okay. We got a little fun game to play.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
fuck, marry, kill.
Ever heard of the game, Dr.
It's one of my
Phil?
favorite games. Played a couple nights ago. I'll give you a fuck, marry, kill to start it off.
All
Ready?
right. Yeah. Hit me up.
Tom Bergeron,
Okay.
Tom Selleck,
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay. I love the mustache, so I'm gonna marry Selig.
Hmm?
Tommy Lee Jones. I feel like I like the quiet demeanor, so I'm gonna say fuck.
Okay.
And then I didn't know who the first person was, so I'm gonna kill him. So
Tom Bergeron,
I don't know who that is. Yeah.
America's Funniest Home Videos, ring a bell?
Glad I killed him.
Wow.
Yeah. That. No. Still.
Un-American. You
Nothing.
killing
Yeah.
him?
I had to kill
Un-American.
someone. Okay. Well, everyone's
that's
gonna
it.
get their turn.
I want
Everyone's
to put
gonna
you.
get their
Can you
turn.
put? Can we put you in this seat here?
Yeah, how about
I think
this? How
you,
about
think you need
Josh?
to.
Flip it.
I
Let's
think you
flip
need
it.
to get over
All right,
here.
Flip it up.
Answer these fucking questions.
Hit the down arrow to go through it. Okay. All right.
Okay. Fuck, marry, kill. Here with the doctor. Here with the jurist doctor.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. Next. Fuck, marry, kill.
Supreme Court edition.
Supreme Court edition. United States Supreme Court. Ketanji Brown Jackson, Amy Coney Barrett, and the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Well, I don't want to be racist, so I'm going to say Mary Ketanji, not to be confused with Jumanji, which is my favorite board game.
Miss
Oh,
Jackson
excellent.
also works. there.
Robin
Jackson.
Williams
I'm
as well.
gonna go to. She also looks like a sweet gal that's gonna make you breakfast. Now Ruth Bader Ginsburg is already dead. R.I.P. P.I.R. Price is right. But I do.
It's a safe kill.
I do think that. You know, she's always looked 85.
Yeah.
You ever meet a friend's baby and you're like, "Are you 40?"
Yeah.
To the baby,
Right.
Yeah.
Wrinkles, everything.
wrinkles, sport jacket. Amy Coney Barrett. I mean, look, she didn't even want to smile because she's looking. She's going, "Look, I might not have had an abortion, but you will."
God damn! Look at those eyes. Look at those green eyes. They're
Oh, those
piercing.
are piercing. Those are. I'm good. Those are. I don't have a tongue ring,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna make this blowjob feel like I've got braces on. Does that make
Sandpaper
sense?
and braces.
When you're playing fuck, marry, kill,
Well, here's the
someone's
thing.
got to go in the fuck slot.
Sometimes the crazy fuck ain't worth the price of admission. When I was in middle school, I didn't lose my V card until college, but in middle school, my friend's dad had a rotation of let's just call them ladies of the night. And there was a gal that came in, had a very Amy Coney Barrett type face, and she pulled up in a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I never forget it, blasting Spice Girls Wannabe.
Another red flag.
And she gets out, high cut jean shorts. I think she was playing a Sega Game Gear on the way in.
Classic.
And my friends and I all said, "Who the fuck is that?" And our friend Billy goes, "That's my dad's number 3." We said, "What does that mean?" It means he's got a whole lineup of people that like to come in and make him forget about his day job.
Sure, everyone needs an escape.
He managed a Radio Shack at the time, which you know isn't completely gone, but just lost its lust.
Is Radio Shack still around?
There's one.
There's one, and my point is, Amy Coney Barrett is the Radio Shack of Supreme Court justices.
This is an
Where you go,
incredible
oh yeah,
analysis.
I remember she's there, but what the fuck is she doing?
Questions. There's more questions than answers when you see her around. 100%.
Yeah, she also looks like she put fentanyl in your dog's kibble.
Oh,
that
wow.
that face. She's just getting done finding out that a blind kid learned how to read without assistance.
Wow. Yeah.
See how
killer.
upset she is?
The more you
killer.
talk about it, the more I see it.
Okay, so this one was for Dr. Phil.
So I'm going fuck on the left.
Yep.
Kill in the middle. Mary Ginsburg.
All right, Mary the Corpse, a wonderful woman, Ruth
This one
Bader
was tough.
Ginsburg.
This
It
one
was
was
tough.
it was a tough one.
But
Yeah,
we've got
good
one.
answers.
Ruth also looks like she'll come back to laugh. Doesn't she seem like you bury her and she all of a sudden she's in the coffin and she just wakes up?
She sits up in the funeral.
Ruth was
yeah.
progressive. She's willing to try stuff.
I like that. I like
yeah.
that.
She's
Yeah.
willing to do it.
I
All
don't
right,
want
so
somebody to tell me. I don't want Amy Coney Barrett to see me put ketchup on my macaroni and cheese and call the cops.
Yeah. Plus, if you get her
Who
pregnant, she's gonna keep it. Okay.
yikes. All right, this next one, I'm going to
Yep,
start
we'll keep it in.
with Josh on the next one. All right, ready for this one? Okay.
this one's tough.
Fuck, marry, kill. You've got your options here.
is tough.
You've got regal Clarence Thomas. You've got aggressively young, angry, getting questioned by Congress Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
And you've got really, 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 really upset with the current basketball season, Clarence Thomas.
I mean, I know that the happy Clarence Thomas on the left, that's hubby material, and then I'm really having a hard time choosing fucking kill with the middle. You know what? Middle guy's just bringing me down. He's depressing me. So it's going to be a marry and then kill, and then I'm going to fuck the guy who looks like he just has a little bit of gas. I feel like we're going to both get in and out of that pretty quickly.
No, the one on the far right, he's making the face seeing Josh pull his pants down.
Yeah, I've seen that face
Disappointed.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty sad.
Middle Clarence won't even look at it, though. I'd rather you look
he's
at
looking
it.
right at it.
You ignore. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
could
this
see
the
that.
right Clarence Thomas saw it right when you pulled your pants down. The middle one is like, I don't understand what's going on. The one on the left is the one after he killed you.
All right, let's do one more. Give it to Dr.
All right,
Phil.
one
this
more
time.
Dr. Phil. Here we go. Alicia Florrick, The Good Wife, Ally McBeal from Ally McBeal, and Annalise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder. Fuck, marry, kill, Dr. Phil.
Well, a big fan of all three of these shows. I was hoping it'd have something to do with the show Boy Meets World, but this will have to suffice. Alicia Florrick, The Good Wife. Big fan of Juliana Margulies. I used to have a fetish of having intercourse at the hospital to the ER soundtrack.
Common.
So far she's in the lead. Ally McBeal, look, Harrison Ford, arguably one of the greatest actors of all time. She snagged him. She's doing something right.
It's true. Doesn't know how to wear a coat, but yes, that's fine.
Some would say that's how you wear a coat.
Ooh.
See, it's all about perspective, Billy. You think those kids in those Sarah McLachlan commercials when they're getting flies picked off their retinas, you think they're mad that they don't have hot dogs? Or do you think they're like, well, that's why my body looks so good?
Yeah, I think you've got to take the good with the bad, for sure.
Annalise Keating, I know her from, what do I know her from? That's Viola Davis, right?
Looks a lot like
She was in the Michael
Suicide
Jordan
Squad.
movie.
She
Yeah,
does look
yeah.
similar, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd probably marry them all, Mormon style,
Ooh, sister wives.
and then kill their ex-husbands with them.
yeah.
And then, as far as the intercourse goes, Ally McBeal's bringing toys. She's got a gavel that, look, God put the nose here because it's the easiest hole to access. So
Well, the best thing about the gavel, you've got the end in her hand, which is called the easy setting, and then the one in the other hand is the hard setting.
I'm also big into role play.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So whether she's a lawyer herself or just playing the part, the other two gals look like they're they're flight attendants for Virgin Airlines, Virgin America.
I feel like Ally McBeal was like the classic boss bitch before people started using the term. Like that is like the quintessential, like Tomb Raider and Ally McBeal. That's boss bitch.
Sure.
That's-
I
yeah.
was going to say quintessential bulimia, but yeah, okay. Sure.
Okay. Well,
Boss
everyone
bitch,
has a different
bulimia,
type.
all of it.
If you want to minimize this,
Yeah, let me do that.
I think you had a really quick thing that you wanted to talk to us about in terms of like identity theft and licensing. So
There is. So, one of the questions we want to talk about here is when people are looking in the world about doing fair use, doing parody in this content-driven world, they're trying to make things really exciting, but people don't really understand where the bounds of that are. Dr. Phil, you've had some incredible work out here, and you're talking with a lot of people. What do you think about fair use and people being able to create this kind of content?
have you ever had an experience where someone used your name or image or likeness?
Yeah, there was a time when I was 17, and I was coming up, right? I was a big public access guy, trying to make a name for myself, and there was some little shit Jew kid, and I say that lightly. I mean, he was one of my best friends, but at the time he'd walk around, he shaved his head to look like me.
Wow.
Started taking testosterone, grew a stash, not on his face, down below, shaved it, stuck it to his upper lip. So the commitment was there. But, this is pre me helping people. He just thought it'd be fun to poke fun.
Yeah.
But I think if you can't laugh at yourself, what are you doing? Right?
Yeah.
Parody is all fun and games. You got to not take life too seriously.
I really think that's a great
But
standpoint.
you can go too far,
Where's the line?
I mean, you got to
Now-
kind of get up to it to know, right?
Now, do you remember this classic Dr. Phil moment where the bum fight guy, you invited the bum fight guy on your show?
Yeah, and I mean that, I don't hate that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm going to, drop a flamethrower in his backyard, again. But I think everyone gets up having an idea of how the day's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Let's say you go to Denny's and you find a little what's the word I'm looking for? Dental dam on your hash browns.
Oh,
Right.
Classic.
You eat around it or do you send it back?
What time of day is it?
2 p.m.
Oh, I'm going to definitely send it back.
Right.
I mean, look at
Yeah.
me. I'm going to eat around it. Doesn't matter what time of day it is.
Well, that question was for Josh. We knew the answer.
Yeah,
for you,
thank
Bill.
you. I appreciate it. I feel seen.
So my point is, do your best. Stop, drop, and roll. Lego my ego. Only do drugs with fun people.
Yeah.
And if you find yourself confused and alone in the shower, shave your head, your back, your pussy, and your crack.
I just
We'll
want
be
to
right back.
I want to compliment you on having one of the greatest senses of humor of all time because it takes they say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, and you have allowed one of the funniest comedians of all time, Adam Ray, to perform a character that
Kid
is
on
very
YouTube,
similar
yeah.
to you. Yeah, he's one of great. You go check out Adam Ray. We've been talking about Dr. Phil the whole time. What do you think of Adam Ray doing Dr. Phil?
Well, again, life gets tough.
Yeah.
So you got to make adjustments. I know we got on the show According to Jim in 2007 with Jim Belushi and thought, here we go, But life said, well, maybe we should hit the pause button for
Yeah.
15 years. Maybe throw a pandemic in the mix.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I'm all for it. I think fucking around doing that type of stuff is good. But I do think there comes a time where you go, now what?
Yeah.
So we'll see what he does next.
Now,
Well-
do you feel like this is part of your charitable endeavors to give back to the world, to help a young kid like this with, just a couple screws loose? This young Adam Ray?
Well, we all got to get a little crazy if we're going to survive. Who said
Amen.
that?
Amen.
Seal.
Yeah.
And he was right. But look, have I denied somebody getting in the? You ever in an elevator, somebody comes running in and they go hold that door,
Right.
and you don't.
Press the close.
Yeah.
You either press the close,
Yeah.
you flick them off, or you act like you're on your phone.
Yeah.
Now, I've done all three. What I won't do is buy Girl Scout cookies if the dad's trying to do the pitch.
Ooh.
So if I'm at a local grocery store and you got some hot, fuckable dad with his little orphan kid, right? And the kid's like,
Hey, you want to buy some cookies?
and you go, is that your real fucking voice, Pedro? And then the dad goes, sorry, he's nervous. He's got to sell these to get his baseball jerseys. And you go, well, maybe let the kid fucking do
Yeah.
the spiel because you're never going to learn if you don't try, and you're never going to try if you don't learn how to grow a pair.
Yeah.
And that goes for the gals and the dudes. I know you might be thinking, well, equal rights, and also, fish and chips, and also HBO and HPV and TMI, all that stuff.
All of it.
But when I look at somebody trying to make themselves better, I go, well, throw darts. You never know what's going to stick until you just do it. You could sit at home and go, I should do this. I should do this. Adam Ray, we don't know if he was like, should I impersonate a daytime talk show host, or should I just get up on stage and try to flex my comedy bones and do something different?
Did you reach out to him or did he reach out to you?
Josh, you're real good at letting people finish their sentences.
It's hard.
Well, it's not that hard to listen, absorb, think about it, and then talk. Here's my impression of Josh. Go ahead and ask me a question, Josh.
Hey, man, how are you?
But anyway, when I was 5, I used to play the clarinet. No, but I'm happy to be here. But Bill, go ahead.
I had a question. We have a lot of political divides these days, and you've got an incredible man born in Veneta, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Does incredible work in parody and fair use. Just so chill. The relationship you've built from a young kid who was born in Seattle, Washington. Different cultures, different time zones, different ways of being. What kind of lesson does that teach about people who can bridge that divide, not take themselves too seriously, and just have fun?
It goes to show you that when two white people put their heads together, anything can happen.
Amen.
Right back. And what I want to say to all the troubled teens out there is, look, drugs are fun. But you know what's really fun? Listening to your parents. If you got one, that's enough. I'm always furious when people go, my parents died in a hot air balloon accident. Well, at least you got the footage,
Share your experiences and your drugs with your parents, just never needles.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
Well, I actually think, share the needles.
Never let sharing end.
I don't think share your needles with Cher, the singer. Quick story about Cher. I was backstage at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas, and Cher came in. It was a Celine Dion concert. And Cher, she can just be anywhere. But she's always like up to no good. One of those shenanigans kids, and she comes backstage. I'm having a Barg's root beer with a little tequila in it, a little bit of a Diet Sprite, a little gin tonic, little Nestle Quick Strawberry. What we call a graveyard in Oklahoma. And Cher comes up, and she gives me one of those playful nut taps. I said, who the fuck is that? I look up. She's like 6'9". She's like Kevin McHale with tits. And so I go, Cher, good to see you. And she goes, do you believe? And I go, huh? Do you believe that I'm real? What? Next thing you know, I wake up in a Motel 6 in Reno, Nevada. Both my eyebrows are shaved. And there's an episode of Friends playing on the TV, and a cardboard cutout of Matt LeBlanc with the penis cut out.
Oh, wow.
And Cher had put her lips through it and acted like that was a vagina, and said, if you're a real man, you'll fuck Matt LeBlanc in the pussy dick. Anyway, happy early 4th of July, and I appreciate you guys having me here.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys, that's going to do it for this one. If you want to call in, great lawyers, amazing comedians, it's the Hardly Legal Show.
Thanks, Dr. Phil.
Appreciate you.
If you have a crazy legal story and you want to talk to some lawyers anonymously, for free, call us.
Wait, we're not getting paid?
Nothing at all. I don't know how we're going to pay for it, to be honest.